Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavatpadacharya Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodayasthititolaya Niyadiprataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparitam Adiprabodhan Vadan Rasakatvan Bhuvidatvavadam Sarvesvaro Hariditi Patipatakam Tam Anandatirthamunivaryam Namami Pujyaya Raghavendraya Satyadharmarataye Cha Pajatam Kalpavrakshaya Namatam Kamadhenve Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome, friends. We are continuing our journey on Kathopanishad. We are on to the third chapter of second Adhyaya and second mantra. We are going on. What we have seen so far is the similes that has been assigned to explain what we have learned so far, as well as to go for the highest revelation of the truth in itself. The truth is nothing but what we realize, the finally the innate potential in us, the immanent and transcendent the power, what we have understood, so far at least has been indicated. That is what we have to understand. Whether we have understood that or not, this is going to be tested. In order to test our own ability to understand, the Upanishad has given two similes, which one of them has been very greatly explained in Bhagavad Gita, first mantra of chapter 15, as well, because we are going to few more similes that are going to come about to make us understand as clearly as possible with the human experience what we have undergone all through, how this particular experience could be sought with this, the frame of the body, mind, and intellect, because whatever the limitations what we have got, because in terms of having the everyday experience in this world. In this process only we have said that, because we have seen how the entire life has been sort of compared to the inverted tree. The tree always we see, because it is the from the top, the roots are going into the ground. That's what we have seen. The Upanishad has given a particular simile telling inverted tree. Because what we are seeing, what we are experiencing is like a tree as it is in the world, because where we are able to see only the leaves, fruits, and the bark, and whereas the roots are invisible, they are below the ground. The roots are getting the nourishment, they are getting the energy to the tree that is invisible. But whereas why it has been given, because as an inverted tree in the Upanishad is the strength, nourishment, everything comes from the power which is invisible to us, which we are trying to understand, whether you want to call it God or the life force or whatever the life energy, which is being sought about in other religions or other disciplines. What is that, we are trying to understand? To understand the invisible, you will be able to understand the means of this experience. Finally, because you are able to infer and try to get what it is that by virtue of our own experience. How to experience that particular invisible power. That is why only they have given the simile of inverted tree. Inverted tree in the sense that the roots are upwards. When you will be able to see the inverted tree, you will not be able to see the inverted tree unless you are by the side of a bank, river bank. See, for river, the tree is there on the side of the bank, and if you are able to see the image of the river in the bank, it will be upside down. But there also roots will not be visible. You will be some roots, which are on the ground only will be visible. Rest of them will not be visible. The invisible only the roots, which is the power which is given to you. That is the cosmic power that is coming to each one of us, and to our ability, capacity which we have accumulated all through, and that is how we are able to get that power. Who is giving that power is the question. That's where philosophies differs, because they say, because there is a particular god who gives the power. Someone says no, it is not the particular god, it happens because it is the process of the world is evolving. Someone says world is created. No one has created the world has evolved on its own. However it may be, the world is having an order. Without an order, nothing could be working. Who has given that order? How this order is functioning, that is going to be explained so very well in the following mantras, which will make you to understand how our experience, what we are trying to get the essence of it, how far it is meaningful for our own evolution. That's what we will be able to see in these mantras. So the first one, because what we have seen is the inverted tree that has given is the finally the nourishment come from the power that whoever you the god, or because the Hiranya Garbha, what we call cosmic power, from there the power is coming, and that power is enabling us depending upon each one of our ability, because we are in the seed form. When the tree comes, it is coming out of the seed, because we are not able to see the potential of the tree in the seed, because that is invisible to us. But when it is watered and nourished, and finally when it comes, then only we come to know what is the nature of the tree, quality of the tree, what it is able to give, how it will be able to flourish. We are able to see only when it comes out, when it sprouts, and finally when it comes out, and when it comes with a bark, and then it flowers, the flowers become fruits and other things, everything it does. The simile what has been given was trying to tell us, because we are trying to get entire energy invisible to us, we are trying to use that energy as if it is our own energy, and we are trying to dissipate in our own way, experiencing this world. But once you see experience after experience, what does that mean to you? Whether you are able to get that experience, because keep it, continuously, and hold it till such time, you can have the benefit of it, the joy of it, the pleasure of it. Are you able to hold on? When you are not able to hold, then you find that experience has given, because it has got something like, it has just given the same analogy. When it has given that the inverted tree, the tree is, the roots are on the ground, the soil is the Brahman, the one ultimate power. He gives the same energy, the same ground. You so different seeds, they all flourish to their different potential. The quality of the seed determines what it is going to be, but it is being equally watered, it has been equally given all this energy of the sun, everything is given, but every seed tries to come to its potential based on the inert quality it has acquired. That is what we call it chitta, because the birth after birth, what we have accumulated, they are all determining the nature of ours. And is it that, because you will not be able to change the nature? Certainly you will be able to. You will be able to evolve every birth. And how you are able to evolve every birth, and finally, because it will take several births. In the sense, because it's not something sort of like, few births, I will come here and I will be able to evolve everything and all. Suppose if I am not able to evolve, I can't be sure whether I would be a human in the next birth, depending upon the quality of my deeds and the quality of my experience I had, quality of evolution I had. It could be something different. Why it happens is it is happening for our own benefit, because we have been given the opportunity to come into this world, experience, and evolve. When we are trying to evolve, certainly, because we do have our own sort of experiences, good, bad, as well as we have got our sorrow, bliss, and we are also trying to find, because the world is not, the same as we are thinking, because the world is always changing, and it is not working to your advantage. Very often you find the world is working to your disadvantage. It is given because you are not able to adopt the ways of the world and all. Why have to adopt the world, adapting to the worlds of the world? Because I'm seeing others how they are adapting. But once you are having your own mooring, once you are having your own balance, once you are able to find your own fine harmony in yourself, and that internal harmony, once you are able to have, whatever experience that is happening to the world will not, because you will be more concerned, with your balance. You will not be you will not be concerned with what is happening and what others are going to perceive, or what I am going to have it and all. That's not going to be there. That's why, the nishkama karma doesn't mean, that you give up, doing any work and just don't expect be content. That will be a that of a earlier, they used to sort of say it is the Hindu way of life. Contentment is not that one. We have to act in the world. Having come into the world, we will have to act. There is no procrastination. It is not a retirement plan. It is an active plan. We will have to be active till the end of the last breath with us. There is no question of going back. We will have to do that. That's what it says. It is not, but then you do it depending upon your, because when you were young, you were capable and your physical ability was there. As you grow up, because you have got a lot of wisdom and you will be able to do so many things, your physical ability will come down. As physical ability goes inversely comes down and your wisdom goes up proportionately, then you will be doing those type of a job, which is going to be sort of, you'll be able to handle, and how it will be sort of, because will be taken into by others, because you will be doing that, you will be seeing, because you will not be able to do the work unless it has a ripple effect to others. If I can't work in a vacuum, and I will have to work in this world. When I'm working in this world, it is a ripple effect. Whatever I am doing is going to be affecting someone else, and that someone else, will return do something, and it will affect me also, affect others also. So therefore, finally, when I find, the code of moral code of conduct, the ethics, and because the finally, how am I to behave, because all those things which I accumulate, when I do everything, for not only, because which is conducive not only to me, to others, because when I do it, when I just go for the not the linear way, but I am able to go to the accepted way by which, because everyone can be sort of benefited. I'm not going to do anything out of the way just for my own benefit. So once you do it, once you are able to do whatever you need, whatever you require, without fear or favor, and if you are able to do, and that is more than enough. You do not have to go and prove someone, not to go prove someone, because that you are the one, who is trying to do for the benefit of everyone else. Not necessary at all. What is with me, if I am able to do meaningfully for me, as well as if I am satisfied, because my moral code of conduct, my ethics, and my internal sort of being is satisfied, if I am able to answer myself clearly to my conscience, that is more than good enough. I don't have to worry about, because what others think and all that. That is what, it says. Therefore, you don't worry about it. As the river flows, in the through the entire course, it is not happening as to what is happening on the banks. It is taking its course and follows it. And once it follows it, when the flow is there, you enjoy the flow. In that process, because your water may be used for a better purpose, your water may be sort of contaminated by so many, you don't bother about it, because there are something good will be happening. There are the ripple effect will be something untoward also. As far as you are able to follow the course, that is what is important. We will not be able to do it. For instance, today, yesterday, because we had a phenomena which all of you might be knowing, because there was a sort of a comet, they said an interstellar comet and has come somewhere closer to the sun, because it may be having an effect on the earth, and all sorts of speculations were there. After all, it has come from another solar system. It is not a part of our solar system. That's what they say. It has come, it is on the other side of the sun, which is not visible. And then, because what is that, someone was trying to say, it is 11-kilometer wide, and it is of this size, and all. Someone says, because it could be, or it could prove to be another 5 kilometers. So many speculations were there. But finally, someone substance of it, they don't know what will happen. It has come from another stellar system, another solar system. It has come, it's an interstellar comet. And this one, has come closer to the sun, and they say it is full of carbon dioxide and other things. That is the what they are able to infer by seeing in the telescope. What will happen, because when it comes closer to the sun, whether we'll be able to, whether it will be able to bear the heat of the sun, or whether it will explode, and whether gases will be released, that they don't know. If it is going to be released, what is the effect of it, whether the earth will be affected, and all. So many speculations were there. Yesterday it happened, between evening 5 o'clock, to 8 o'clock, they were that time that was given. A lot of speculations were there. But then who knows, who has, because you are able to see through the telescope and try to infer something. But who has created all these things? Who are the how this entire system has been working? And because if even if the earth has to be affected, and what way it will be affected, whether it will going to emit gamma rays, or whether it is going to rise, sort of emanate some other rays, it will affect, with the communication or anything like that, we don't know. And as far as we are concerned, because we have been only told it's an interstellar comet, so we don't know. Someone said, it's an alien, they have sent a craft. All sorts of speculations were there. And these are all only a speculation which we don't know. Like as we don't know the invisible God, we are trying to infer through our scriptures, and infer through our experiences, infer through, because how we have to conduct ourselves in this world, so that, because we don't swayed by sorrow and happiness, we are able to keep ourselves in a fine balance. When we are doing all these things, now why it is being said like that? Because there is a cosmic balance. You see, there is a cosmic, even if the sun is trying to just shift its axis by 0.0001 degree, most of us would have been burnt alive. The earth will not be able to survive. In fact, they have found, because they have found another super Earth somewhere, because in another galaxy, and they say it's like a Earth, all the conditions are available. It's also existing somewhere else, because which we don't know. So likewise, so many things. Who has created this order? How they have been existing in fine balance, all these things. We are able to experience everything, because in this world, sitting here, we are able to get the sun, we are able to see the night, we are able to get, all the winds, breeze, everything and all. And we have created, own comfort zones, and we are trying to exploit it to our comforts. Wherever you find comfortable, you try to exploit it, and we are not bothered at what happens. But then in spite of all these things, because even there is a calamity, climatic calamity is there, and there is some force still keeps the balance. Otherwise, all of us still, we may be talking about, because all these things, but we may be doing very little, but still it is being kept going. Who is the power, who is keeping going? Okay, it is the same invisible power, who has created all these stellar systems, the interstellar systems, where so many miracles are happening. We are only trying to find the infer and some sort of a give our own understanding to those things. So this is exactly has been brought about, because beautifully it is said how you will be able to understand the God. Sada gamaika vigneyam samatinda ksharam. Sada Agamainga Vijnayam, because all the your scriptures and shastras, where your masters have gone through, and they have reflected so much, they have all gone beyond, because even what they can, because of your interstellar system and all, they have all sort of gone beyond their thoughts, and by the intuition, they have all tried to infer what it could be. Finally, what it means is, when such a fine balance is kept with so many complex, these galaxies, solar system, and interstellar movements and all, how we can adopt the same thing to have a fine balance in ourselves. That is the beauty of the Upanishad. They have not kept everything, because that is a phantasmagorical spectacle explaining, because all by the similes and all. The similes do have a meaning for us to adopt in our everyday life. This is exactly has been brought about so beautifully, and that is how we are going into, after seeing the inverted tree, which has given us, because of an iota of knowledge about, finally we are all getting the knowledge from this invisible, who is giving the chitta power, because hiranya garbha, cosmic power, universal mind or universal consciousness, what people are talking about. From there, because finally it gives, you are able to get it, because it is composition of everyone's consciousness. Your consciousness is pick up that. Finally, when you are being also, you are a ray of the reflection of the same power, the sunshine, which comes, you are part of it. So how will you be able to get part of it? Because how you will be able to get it? By getting the grace. Grace, how you will be able to get it? By internally, because trying to understand yourself. When you are, because when everyone sarva bhuteshu Hridayaste tishtanti, because this is what Gita says. Everyone is having internal power, the life power in them. That is the same power. Whether it is in you or whether it is in someone else, whether it is in an animal, it is the same power. Who is there? When you are able to see it, because then the one and the only question, one and the only emotion, all of us will have only is love. The Lord of the the Lord of the love is, the one, finally governs the entire universe. That is, the entire the purpose. That means, you should not have any like or dislike. It is not that, because love is something, because compassion comes, when someone finds you, because in a sort of a lesser comfortable position, in sort of a distress, you are trying to help, you will have a compassion, kindness. And as well as the love comes in immediately, because you are not going to take anyone by what you hear, what the face value, you are able to see, because of your own conditionalities. You will not be able to do that. Will, because likes, dislikes will go off. So this is the second mantra that is saying. It is in your page 125 of the document I have sent. You will be able to see the title given, the terror of the thunderbolt. Because how these things have been kept in order. Some organization is running, means, because they have got a board, and they have got the verticals, and they have got the heads, who are running it, and they are running it so perfectly, because organization efficiency comes, when all the verticals run to the full advantage of the mission and vision of, the goal set by the organization, and runs seamlessly. The same thing it is telling that Yatitam kincha jagat sarvam the one, because the whole universe with whatever is in it, the universe is, because it is interstellar space, cosmos, and other galaxies, everything it covers. There are so many sort of the incidents that is happening. There are cosmic incidents. If you go to the NASA website every day, you will be able to see something is happening, something is being observed. They are still not able to understand something they are trying to infer. When so many things are happening, all these things have been kept as it is, and the earth is also moving, because with all the sort of the whatever life force that is there, but the life creatures are able to get through their life every day, and all these things are happening. The whole universe with whatever is in it, prana ejati nihristam. See, this is the very beautiful. Prana is called, even the Almighty Brahman is being called as prana in the Vedas. Why it is being called from the prana only, the one which is giving the life force into the system. So, like the board is giving the entire company is giving the powers to the board, and the board gives the power subsequently, because to the verticals, and the vertical gives to the people who are operating like that, because there is a system. That's why Einstein said, the God has not played dice. He has kept everything in order. So when that order is there, yet itam kincha jagat sarvam, because so many things that is happening. Jagat means jagrati ita jagat. It is not only, because the physical, the galaxies, what we are able to see, what the NASA is projecting, what we are able to see, the computer, not the, it is all the sort of planets and the creatures inside, because all the conditionalities. Some are very cold, some are very hot, some are inhospitable. They have got their own, and they have got own axis, and they have also got their own satellites. They are also they are very, very sort of extreme temperatures and conditionalities. All those things are there, and they are also creating time to time some explosions. The explosions are happening, because the cosmic explosion, they create, so many of gases, rays, and other things. All these things are being kept in order. And finally, to the extent, a small speck of we are all the smallest speck in the entire system. We are trying to understand such a big system, how it is, because Upanishad says, try to understand yourself. Because when there is an order, when such a great system has been kept in order, why can't you keep yourself in order? That is what the Upanishad brings about. Yatitam kincha jagat sarvam prana yejati nishrutam. So when the entire thing is vibrating with the prana, entire cosmic solar system is vibrating with prana, the energy that has been given. Because there are so many sort of vibration, because even in the other planets, if you see the volcanoes erupting continuously, and gases are emanating continuously, and but finally they are all, because there is an interaction. What happens, we don't know, but the inferment is there, because now if you, at least the mankind has got the capacity to see part of it, and they are able to infer, and they are able to say this is what's happening, this may happen, and all. At least you are able to see. How we are able to see? Because everything has been kept in order. How you are able to send even an interstellar space, yeah, sort of a racket or any sort of mobile, we are, because everything is in order, so we are able to calculate mathematically and send it to that, because it is in order. If it is not in order, we could not even see this. Whatever is happening, little we are coming to know, we would not have known that. But when that is the case, why don't you know about yourself? Why are you not able to keep yourself in fine balance? This is what everything is in cosmos is order. It follows the law of nature with mathematical precision, and when makes our, because otherwise when the space exploration will not be possible at all. So therefore, when it is there, then it says how it is happening. They are telling one particular word, which is sort of being used by different sort of interpreters, differently, and we will see what it is. The next sentence says, "Yatyatam kincha jagat sarvam prane yejati nirhishatam." When once they have said, they are all vibrating with prana, and the entire force is there. Mahad bayam vajram udayat. You see, there is a terrifying, because the control, because everyone is, like terror of the thunderbolt, because the pies, thunderbolt is poised at you, because like you are at the cutting, what we call Shurasya Dhara, the razor's edge, what we have seen in the last mantra of third adhyaya, first chapter, Shurasya Dhara, because which is the very famous mantra Vivekananda has taken, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Uttishta Jagrata, Varan Nibodita. Surasya Dwara. That is Surasya Dwara, razor's edge. Razor's edge means you are walking on that a thin edge. Either it can cut, or if you can be careful, it is like that, because Mahatbayam, because all these things are functioning with such a precision because there is an order. Mahatbayam, they are telling that is the quality of the order. Nothing goes, because if earth, because sun can't decide, it can shift the axis because it has the power, and because it has been kept in the axis in its particular axis properly, and earth has been kept in axis. Though they say earth axis has been shifting and all, because based on our own experience, because they say twice the earth has shifted the axis. This is what the scientists say. In fact, surprisingly, our Puranas are also saying same thing. How the Puranas have inferred that and how the scientists have inferred, we don't know. Because when you say Varaha Avataram, because when the entire earth has been taken out, from when Hiranyaksha has taken it, how Varaha Avatara, the Vishnu has taken and to bring back the earth. They say at least at that moment there was a shift in the axis of the earth. They say, because this is in our Purana, Varaha Puranam is there. And the scientific community also say there are twice earth has shifted the axis little. Well, again, it's an informant, because no one can go out of the outer space and measure it, and because this informant, it is happening like that. So that means, because they have been happened at that particular point of time, they are still in place, and now we are able to be living on this earth. Likewise, all other things are happening. Mahatbayam Vajramudyatam. See, when you said it is like a thunderbolt, you have to work at the like a razor's edge. All these things are functioning on the razor's edge because there is a power behind them. There is a power, who is keeping them in that place, because otherwise, they can't go out of order. Likewise, they say it instills the great terror, Mahatbayam Vajram Udyatham, and because of that, even there is some sort of a explosion has taken place. Even they say, because other planets have taken place, they have all controlled explosions, and they have not, because caused any chaos in the entire interstellar system. But of course, we are still not able to understand even part of it. A very sort of minuscule part of it, we are trying to explore. Even that, because whatever has happened, because nothing extraordinary chaos has not happened. Had it happened, because the things would have been different. We will not be able to even measure that there is an order that has been kept. Etat te viduha amrita bhavanti. One who knows, likewise, who has kept everything in place, everything in order. Once you understand, you will be having the immortal bliss in him. That's what it says. By understanding the stellar system, what immortal bliss I will have. Because this is what, because normally, one will be able to try to see, the point of view, from this point of view. It is a sort of a apparently, because the when we are not able to get into the depth of it, you will not be able to get that, because Upanishad, that's why it is called a secret. In the sense, you will have to get into the depth of it and try to understand the purpose behind it, why this simile has been given, why the same simile has been reflected and differently in Bhagavad Gita also, why it has been given, why Arjuna has been told in the battlefield all these things and all. This is because you should understand you have got so many things in you, like the interstellar system, because you have got everything in order. But when you are sort of rather disobeying the order, when you are trying to go out of the order, when you think, I have got a free will, I can do whatever I want, and we never understand we are not the doer. We are only an instrument, to do. But when we have to do the instrument to do, why, how we are doing it, because we are going to reflect ourselves, what we are going to do. We have accumulated the wisdom. Every day is a sort of a work in progress. We are accumulating a little by little by, the wisdom comes to us. What I am having today, because maybe a little better than yesterday, because if I am not able to reflect, it may go down again. It is like, the fact, by which, I am able to reflect, when I am able to see, the meaning of every action. How I have to see the meaning of my action? By thoughts. My thoughts, have to be as pure as possible. Because my perceptions, because which I generated is, by my desires, because that the thoughts, once I am able to control that one, the thoughts are able to be kept as pure as possible to the extent, because it is not going to cause any harm to others, as well it's not going to cause any harm to me also, self also. It is not that, because you have to sacrifice everything. You will have to do everything within the your zone of comfort, as well as it doesn't cause any harm to others. When you are able to your thoughts, your actions, and your words, because that is very very important. Words in the sense, because that's why that Jnaneshwari, who has written the great, the Jnaneshwari in Maratha, he has written Atmanubhava. He has written one book, and it is supposed to be his autobiography. In that, he has written one word: whether you are able to control any sense or anything like that, unless you keep at least one sense under control, that is your mouth. Mouth in the sense including tongue. The tongue is the one, which emanates, because which gives the words, and which also gives the taste, and your lips only enable the sound to come out. If you are able to keep the mouth, that is including the tongue, in control, perhaps you have achieved the highest self control. In fact, in the very famous Tirukural, Thiruvalluvar, because Tamil, what they say, there's also one particular couplet, Yagavarayanum Nagaka Kavakar Solilukku Pattu. Whether you are able to Yagavarayanum, even if you are not able to keep all the senses in control, at least keep your tongue in control. If you keep the tongue in control, because if you think, because suppose, if you are in a very very sort of a agitated emotion, don't talk, don't say, keep the silence. But when you are in a happy mood, don't go out of the way, because you will be giving promises which you can't, be able to sort of complete. You will not be able to comply with the tongue, comply with the request. You will give so many promises which you will not be able to fulfill. So when you are in such a time, once you are keeping it, you will be observing, and most of the time you should be sort of finding out whether should I need to speak at all. If am I to speak, what, then, once you do that, what is required only you will be speaking, and then you will be speaking, your language will be sweet. So like, because you will not, because nothing will be hurting, because it will be sort of pleasant to listen to everyone as well. It is more of, you will be able to get the sort of a cooperation of everyone, and you will be able to, even the you are able to correct someone, you will be able to use the nicest language. See, one of the biggest problem, because what we have, because in our country, even whether big people or top, or even the people, who are at various walks of life, is ability to say no. When you want to say, because you can't say no, you want to oblige everyone, because that is some of the most of the people, try to find, that is the one of the biggest drawback for them. How to, because that is where, because the ability comes. You don't say no. Yes, someone wants the impossible thing to be said, to be achieved. When the organization happens, in personally, someone will look for our own kith and kin and our own family members, maybe. Then you say yes, yes, because all these things, can be done. The conditional yes, if these things are done, we will be able to do that. Don't say no, because I feel, it can't be said. It is unreasonable what the other person says. But I can always use the word. Why can't? Because then we say yes. What you are saying is it can be done, provided, because if we can all these things in upfront, then we will be able to say. There is a way of telling. So the other person, what will know? At first, he will think, because he is still, he wants everything to be in place. How it will work? World is a sort of imperfect place, but still you will have to do. That's how, because a lot of people of action, they think, but not necessary, because if you are convinced, because unless, it can't be done, in this way, you will have to say it can be done only with these things, and if it is complied with, if you have all these things, unless, I put up an application and, the start, the joining the coaching class, I can't be thinking of getting into UPSC. First I will have to start, then, because then, because I have got known some known person there, in the UPSC, that those things will not work. Even if this is possible, it will not, unless you will have to go through the process. You have to prepare for the process. So likewise, because once you know, your ability to tell no to others and convince others, and with a clarity, will be much more. than what we have already. That is what it says. So once you get that quality, and then once you then you will be under control. Once you are under control, you will be having the same equilibrium, same harmony, the same synchronization. It's taking place in the entire interstellar space. It will be with you. Once it is there, what that is the bliss. What else is the bliss? Once you are in harmony with yourself, once you are able to deal with every person whom you think is difficult as whom you think easier to deal with, and whom you think because you try to avoid because there is no way to avoid. You will have to deal with everyone as the world goes by. I think even if you don't want, if you are trying to avoid someone, the person will sort of come in front of you with so many things, and it will happen because the universe will bring them in confrontation with you. You will have to face it. So then this is the one. Once you are able to have the harmony and the control yourself, you will be able to see. And when it said Mahatbhayam Vajramutyam, in the sense, because after all, we should know it is basically for the nihilist and Buddhist and Shunyavadis who say, because there is no God, everything has happened. It is all, because there is a Parinamavada, Nimittavada, because so many things are there. Sir, I will come back within 10 minutes. Nimittavada and all. So just to say, those who are not believing, because atheists and because those who are not believing necessarily there is a God, because things are happening on its own. And what is that? By bringing the God, we are only sort of limiting our capabilities, because these things are a lot of disciplines are there, and in our own stream, because a lot of people have that. And all. Finally, irrespective of the denomination and all, in Sanatana Dharma, one thing that is commonly accepted and understood by everyone is Satyam Brahman, because the Brahma Satyam, because that is what the Brahma Satyam is. Advaita, Dvaita, Visishta Dvaita, that is one common thing everyone has agreed. And finally, there is an order. I think there is a power which is, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it Shiva, whether you want to call it Krishna, or whether you want Krishna consciousness, Rama, anything like that, even the Abrahamic religion, whatever they want, there is a power who has kept it in order, because that is the finally the power that keeps us. Once you have that, then you will try to work in harmony. You have also been kept in peace. You have also been given the power by the same power who has kept everything in order. That is why in the same Upanishad we have said Neha Nanasti Kinchana. The same power who has kept the cosmic powers in order, the cosmic system in order, it is the same power inside you. That means you will also have to work within the framework of that, and you will be able to get whatever grace or whatever the sort of the assurance you will have to get yourself for your own functioning. And once in that process, when you get a harmony, that is the immortality. Once you have that, because none of the actions will have any sort of a stain of the papa nor the grace of great punya. They will all be what you are supposed to be doing in this world. You will be doing that is the highest possible action any human being can do. And this is what has been explained, and we will be, as we go through, this will be explained more sort of precisely, because they will also be bring about other elements, how they are functioning, how we will have to seek from them. So it's not only as an inverted tree, we are getting the entire nourishment, from the power, because the Hiranyagarbha, the Brahman, from there, because Abhyakta, it is the Mula Prakriti, what we call it. The entire earth, whatever you are eating, or the minerals and cotton, everything, and whatever we are, this all the earth, Mother Earth gives, and she is the Mula Prakriti. And then, because from there, Hiranyagarbha, all the creatures have come. And likewise, we have got we have all descendants. Yeah, we are all part of the same tree. Once we understand that, we will not be going by the waywardness of taking the fruits of the world and forgetting, whom we are, and trying to sort of, we will be losing our balance. In order to regain our balance, in order to replenish ourselves in the final, the great energy that has been given to by the great power, innate, and as well as, we can access to it at any point of time. In fact, we can conversation with the God. There is a book, by a Westerner has written. It is as good as because anyone can experience the grace of the God. The conversation with the God is because you can have the experience. Because when you are having the synchronity, when you are having the harmony, when you are in a complete control of yourself, you will be able to have that. Otherwise, you will not be able to, because that is it prevents you to have. Where is the God? It is inside your heart. That is supposed to be the sort of a ephemerically they are telling, but basically the power is supposed to be in your Sushma Sarira. It is there, it is giving you the energy and all. So how to access the highest power in such and get our potential to the highest? What is for that purpose? How we have to keep ourselves in full harmony and control? That's what we have seen, and perhaps we will be seeing some more mantras, because this is the last chapter, and we will be getting finally the entire essence of Kathopanishad. Not only the Kathopanishad, it is the entire essence of Vedas, and in fact Bhagavad Gita. Everything will be coming out of this. Thank you. With this, I will conclude today's session. If you have anything, you can just share with me, and we can discuss it.
Can I ask a small question? When you say power, you mean starting from prana and all, everything, no?
Yeah.
Everything what is happening in life.
Yes.
Oh. Nothing is in my hands, basically. Everything. So, what you were saying, the doer is someone up there.
Well, because I understand,
And
when you
yet,
do it, in the sense, the question of free will, man. What we think, we have a free will. That free will is conditioned free will.
so why exactly are we born? Just because God wants to take some experiences on this material
Yeah,
world
yeah,
through
but
us?
it is not that you should not do what you want to do and all. You will do it, but when you are doing it, then you will not be because trying to sort of well, this is how I have to do. Let me do it as best as possible. Your the whatever the wisdom you accumulated will come to your the discrimination. You will be able to see what is right and wrong. So when you are able to see the right and wrong, because at that point of time, you are able to, you are become the instrument of doing. When you are not able to see the right or wrong, and when you are able just about doing it, because it has to be done at that point of time, perhaps because we need to again evolve. That is what it is.